Morning traders, and this is your Aussie day trade setup for today. So a couple of things here. So the first thing is there's our flag breakout, and we didn't really find any support here. We broke straight back into the flag, so we're back in the flag. Now that brings a whole different spin to this at the moment, because we've also broken through this level. Okay, now if you look at the oscillators here, there's a classic example of the Aussie with the stochastics. You knew they were grouping to the upside like that. Something was about to happen. You had that inside bar and pretty big moves to the downside. Okay, so a couple of things here. So this flag is still valid, okay, until we break below the low of the trend line here. And if that happens, you're going to have a pretty violent move to the downside. Okay, because essentially what you've had is a fake out. This whole structure here is a fake out of this measured move. And now what you're anticipating is pretty much a massive move to the downside, which will more than likely close all these gaps to the downside. Okay, so this is not something that I've been trading the last couple of days. I've really been focused on the Dow and a little bit of currencies every now and then. But so we are making our targets, well, just short of our targets at the moment, but 2.5% is better than a kick in the teeth. So at this stage, I'm very cautious with the Aussie. So these massive gaps is a worry. Stochastics are grouping, oscillators are grouping at the moment. We're breaking structure, which is a concern. This is a 3-hour break, probably a 4-hour break below structure as well. Yes, it is. Okay, and we're on the 4-hour 200 EMA at the same time. But everything is leaning towards look for a level. A level is coming. You need to look for a level. The buyers are going to start looking for a level. So let's start with this. And so there is a gap here. That's the first scenario. So continuation down to 5,600. That's our first scenario. If that gives, we have another gap lower down. That's our second scenario. First scenario to me, if I look to the left, you can see here's all the levels. This is where we are at the moment. There is a lot of fractals to the left here as well. So anything can happen, I would assume, in this zone. Okay, this diagonal is critical right now because if this diagonal breaks, we have a bit of a problem for the bulls coming. Okay, so even everything's indicating, look where the stochastics are, everything's indicating look for a level. And the level could be anything. It could be diagonals, it could be horizontals, it could be moving averages. It could be pivot points, it could be fractal, it could be pretty much anything. It depends on what the bots are going to use as their level. Okay, so I'm very cautious. We do have the potential for a little micro double bottom forming here. This green bar is not valid data, so I'd want to see a break above. I just want to get that out. So I want to see a break above this fractal high here. And that's not a fractal, so because this green bar is null and void. So at this stage, your fractal is there. So that is 52278. A break below the low of yesterday, 51011. I would then be fairly confident that we have potential for a move to the downside. However, I'm not interested in chasing a break here. Okay, if all the time frames, oscillators, all grouping indicating we are oversold, it's not a place to jump in short. So you want to see a pullback and then you get in for your short. Okay, so for me at the moment, it's looking for longs. There are a couple of levels here, so it's worthwhile going on one of these levels, and maybe on the second move. So in other words, it moves down, moves up, has a second attempt down, makes a double bottom or a higher low, starts moving up. That's going to be the structure I'm looking for to get in. Okay, I think we need to just have a quick look at Ichimoku. It will give us a little bit more information. Okay, 12 minutes, everything is bearish. There's nothing to even talk about there. Half hour, everything is bearish as well. I think just to highlight something here, you can see we had this bearish crossover which happened the day before yesterday. Then we went up to the cloud. It's worth taking the short. The chances of this gap closing are very remote. It's always going to come and close. It's sort of take sellers will step in on the previous, the first bar below the gap always. And you can see that's what happened the day before. Yesterday was a gap down. Everything is down. Everything's pointing down. Everything's bearish. So you could have jumped in pretty much anywhere on this to get the move. Not that I was anticipating a move down, especially when we're moving sideways like this. I wasn't anticipating us to move down. I was actually anticipating a break to the upside, but we didn't break any structure. So, okay, and you can see here on the hour. Again, when you see pin bars like this and tails in this kind of pattern, it's a 50-50 chance of it going. The fact that we're below Keatson, Tekinson, and everything is bearish is probably the only signal that you had that this was going to move to the downside. Okay. Normally when I see this kind of stuff, I don't even bother because I've been burnt so many times trying to guess what the markets are trying to do when you've got this structure. Okay. I like to see structure that makes sense. The hour it's bearish. No two ways about that. The 4 hour is bearish. Okay. The only thing that I can see right now is we have a flat Keatson and flat Tekinson. Okay. Cloud is very thin as well. Normally when the cloud is thin, it's a volatile market as well. However, the daily is still bearish. Sorry, bullish. Listen to me. Okay. We are at structure. Okay. This flag is a bit of a concern, but we can still come down and close this gap and we will be bullish. And last thing, that's the big move. There's 50% of the move right here. Okay, we just slap bang in the middle of the gap. Okay, so there's a lot of potential structure that is looking like it's going to form. It may not form today, being a Friday, but my advice is to either leave this alone today, look at something else. I think the Dax and the Dow both have some pretty solid double bottoms brewing on them, which will give you some decent trades. This thing could still move to the downside. It's not something that I want to be chasing short at this level. I want to see a pullback structure form and then get in for a short if it's going to be short. So for me, it's a wait at the moment. There's no structure form. There's no breakout that I can use on the 12 minutes apart from these two fractals here. And I think for me, that's going to be a little bit rich. Okay, that's not too bad. 300 points. So 300 points is fine. Based on my account as it is now, that means I can put probably a 1.2 or 1.3 trade on. Okay, so yeah, I think for me, I'm not really looking at this unless there's some positive structure forms, and I'm going to want to see something on the hour, especially with this move. I mean, over 2 days we have moved 1,400 points, so I'm going to want to see some structure form, proper structure, double bottom, bit of a channel or a bit of a flag or sort of a range or something forming on the bottom here, some decent pin bars or anything like that. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So anyway, guys, that's it for me today. No, that doesn't help you at all on this market, but patience is key on this thing. If you can't be patient, go away. Come back another day. Don't try and force it. It's pointless trying to force shorts at the moment, especially the way things are looking right now. It could continue moving down, but if you're not in the market, then it doesn't make sense to try and make the risk, wait for the pullback and then get in. Otherwise, wait for structure to form and anticipate a change in direction. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. I hope that helps and I will catch you later. Cheers for now.